Hey guys, Moose here with another episode of No Man's Sky. As I mentioned previously, this series is going to be ending soon. I think we got one more episode after this one. I'm going to do a review of it as well, however I know a lot of people are doing reviews these days, or at least recently, about this particular game, so I don't want to go too hard on that. I'm not in too much of a hurry to get it out. There's other more interesting games I could be doing. But I think just the same, the No Man's Sky review should be coming next week, if I'm not mistaken. So, anyway, we'll get to it. There's a lot of things that I feel I want to talk about. Really? You can't interact with this one? Alright. Or that one. Okay, you can't interact with any of this shit. That's fine. Just a few things that I want to touch on where it's sort of, I don't know, my personal opinion that I'm sure has been rehashed by everyone and their mother at this point, but still, you know, it's important to me to kind of digest what happened here, kind of do a post-mortem, analyze the data log, probably technology I already have if I had to guess. Yep, already known. Alright, well, whatever. There's a thing nearby, so let's go check that out. Where was it? Right over here? Oh, that one's even closer. Alright, well let's fly to it anyway, because it's kind of up on a hill. But yeah, I mean, for now, I don't like being negative for too long, and I've been really negative in the last two videos, I think. Maybe three. So I just want to focus on what I enjoy about this game and kind of close it out strong, I guess, is the right way of saying it. Because I was playing this game off camera a bit originally, so there were things I enjoyed about it. It just kind of fell apart after that, so try and focus on what I enjoyed and kind of figure out, okay, well, where can we go from here? What can we do? I don't think this game can be salvaged to the potential that it has. I think that's way out of reach, and I think no matter how you cut it, you're still going to be in a position as the developer where you have objectively lied to people, and you're not going to get that trust back. But I think there are steps that can be taken to make this game better. And it's going to require a lot, but there's stuff they can do. There's been bigger changes for better or worse in other games that have happened over a relatively short span of time, so it's doable. So the first thing would definitely be better flight control. I'd be totally fine with like having players crash and then like you just automatically generate shitty, like, oh come on, automatically generate a shitty ship, like a starter ship near them. Not even near them, but like a little ways away. Punish them with walking. Maybe enforce the survival elements a little bit by doing that. You know, you don't want to go too hard on that, because a lot of people don't actually enjoy that, but still I think it works to some degree. And that would be how you'd handle crashing. Or you just kill them, that's fine too. You already have a death system in the game, no need to make it more complicated than it already is, right? But more control over how you fly would be big, because even if you kept landing the way it is, which I really don't like, it'd be good to just be able to fly and actually be able to control what you're doing, because it's like it's like having really hard aim assist on a gun in a game, in a shooter, you know? Because you might want to pick your target. You can't really pick your target. You just have to hope that the computer understands what you're trying to do and lets you do it, because you don't really get the choice most of the time. So that would be a good change. As far as what the game does well, I'm not really sure. I know there's been so much focus on the negative and the unfulfilled promises that it's a little bit hard to focus on the positives, I suppose. Like, if they could add more variability to the resources, that would be a big deal. You already have certain things where you could say, okay, well, doesn't it make sense that you would have an easier time finding something like plutonium or isotopes in general on a radioactive planet? Right? That makes sense, I feel. And there's other things like that where you can kind of rebalance things. Also, the inventory system is shit in a lot of different ways. I think a lot of people have touched on that. So you can't go too far with this without redesigning how inventory works. And also, I guess your limits are pretty tight, maybe on patching, because you're looking at the PS4. and there's only so much patching you can do in that situation. So maybe this isn't something that they're looking to support too much into the future without like actual paid content, which is my concern, which will definitely be the death knell for this game. If they can't support, like if they don't come out and own this and say, I don't think they have yet, and say, look, yeah, this is bait and switch, false advertising, whatever you want to call it. Bottom line, they lied. This isn't the game that people were sold on when they ordered it prior to release. So if they came out and owned it and said, look, here's our plan, here's what we're going to do to fix things as quickly as we're able, here are the patches that are going to come out, all of it's going to be free, you don't have to worry about it, you're going to get what you paid for, you're just not going to get it right away. Then they could at least salvage some amount. I don't think they're going to have trust either way, but they could at least like kind of bring it back around a little. No, I already went here, didn't I? Because I was just here, wasn't I? No, I wasn't. Okay, good. That, you know, that might help. But I don't know if that's going to do enough to get people to... either way, this game is going to go down easily as one... This is a Peter Molyneux moment, you know, like, no one's going to forget this shit. They're definitely in a position where their credibility is going to be called into question on anything else they ever do in this industry. There's no getting around that. And they deserve that. But coming back from that is kind of... It's easy to say, hey, this is shit and here's why, because it's readily apparent to everyone why this game is shit. And it's a valid... Honestly, it's a valid observation. But I think the harder question is, okay, well, then if that's the case, where do you go from here? And I don't know, like the easy choice is you just fold up shop, you close shop. Disband Hello Games, it's fucked. You have that name, like they may want to consider, if they don't disband their little development studio, definitely want to change the name probably. I think that's kind of a shitty way to fix the problem, but I mean, I don't know how many chances they're even going to get to shed the reputation that they built for themselves with this game. And I don't think that it's unfair at all that that's the case. I think they should have this reputation because that's how consumers get protected from shit like this down the road is, alright, you get to fool us once, but you know, you try this shit again, no one's going to buy it. Even when you try anything again, no one's going to buy it. I mean, I don't even know how they continue doing... Okay, this is not what I thought it was. I'm honestly not sure how they do business after this. I mean, in a real way. Oop. Game fucking hard crash. There you go. Just as I'm talking about, well, I don't know how they're going to move beyond this. The game hard crashes, so I'll just load it up here. Shouldn't take too long. Yeah, remember that name. Because if you ever see a game associated with that development or developer's name again, you probably want to think long and hard before you give them any money. I know I said I didn't want to be negative here, but I guess I'm switching from negative to more pragmatic, I guess. That's what I'm going for. I don't know. But yeah, you gotta... Man, I don't know. Like, they could close. That's the easy out. That's the easy out, right? Close up shop. Fuck it, go work somewhere else. That's one choice. Another choice is to rebrand and basically pretend this didn't happen. I don't think that's going to go too well for them. I think BP did something like that after, alright, after the Gulf. I'm not sure if they did or not, but I sure as hell don't hear much about BP anymore. I'll tell you that. They've been good at doing a good job of keeping their heads down, let's put it that way. I don't necessarily think a development company can do that in this scenario, but I don't know. I'm not a professional in that line of work, so I wouldn't know, I suppose. Or probably the right choice, I think, if there is a right choice, is to own it and to salvage it. But that's gonna, from their perspective, at that point, you're talking about a lot of work that isn't really generating revenue. And this is why you don't fuck up in the first place like this. is if you screw it up like this, on some level you're either sacrificing reputation, which is a big deal, or now you're signing yourself up for a lot of support that you don't want to do, because if you're doing that support, you're putting in time, you're putting in money, basically resources, into, oh, it's another abandoned building, into resources that are not generating you profit. And that's a problem. That's how companies die, I feel. If you have the capital to do it, and maybe Sony's support is going to be what makes that happen. I don't think it will be, because honestly, if I'm Sony in this situation, I just fucking throw them to the wolves. Who cares, right? Sony doesn't give a shit. Why would they? But, you know, maybe they're feeling nice and they want to have this developer in their back pocket down the road. Maybe they do. Maybe they throw money at this and say, all right, look, we'll pay you guys to fix this, and just do it. You have a year. And maybe that's a year of unpaid updates to the game that at least bring it to the point where the $60 price tag is debatable. I don't think it's ever going to be a slam dunk. I don't think that's possible at this point. But getting it to the point where it'd be, okay, well, I guess if you really, really like this kind of game, then $60 makes sense. I think they could get to that point. I think it'll take a lot of work and a lot of changes, which ends a lot of wasted dollars on their end. But I don't see how they do this without doing that, because it's just too shitty. There's too many mistakes that they made. There's too many lies that they told to just keep doing business, even under a different name. I don't know. The internet is not stupid, and the internet has very long memories. And every time a game gets released by these guys, someone out there is going to be saying, hey, just so you know, this was made by such and such person, or Sean Murray was involved in this. I mean, he's never going to be able to go on TV in an interview again for a game if they want to succeed. It's just not going to happen. I mean, this is like, he doesn't have any of the goodwill that maybe Peter Molyneux had that lets him kind of keep coming back and getting people to buy into him. He's not that good. And even Peter Molyneux, you're like, when's the last time you heard from him, right? I mean, he burned that bridge. And Sean Murray is not even anywhere near that good, I don't think, or that established. So how's he supposed to keep doing business like this, right? So I think he's screwed. I mean, he's done. He's got to be done, right? The only way he's not is if they salvage this, or at least make an honest effort to. And that's a tall order with, like I said, a lot of money invested that they may not have. And also, like I said, if Sony doesn't give a shit about helping them out, it's over. I don't think they're going to have the capital to just throw it away on this and then turn around to develop another game afterwards. I really hope this one isn't better than mine. I'm really not a fan of these colors. Oh, fuck, it is. But you know what? I don't really care right now. Because the thing is, it makes no fucking difference. So screw it. Alright, hello person thing. Literally no words that I know. Yeah. Let me get some titanium. I think I have some chrysanite too. I don't really care. I don't know what I need that for, so we'll just do it. No, damn. Okay, great. Now I have to pay him again. No, I don't. Okay, good. Please talk. Okay. So what does he need? I mean, I guess probably silicates? Fuck. Okay, needed titanium. Whatever. That sucks for me too, because I've got way more titanium than chrysanite. So, whatever. I'm not gonna sweat it. So now will you... Can I do something here? Waiting for the stupid dialogue to play out. Hey, I know a word this time. Yeah, give me a word. Thank you. You can actually tell what the hell you're saying now. Power. Okay, good. But yeah, I don't know what the path back from this looks like. I mean, I guess it... No, I do know what it looks like. It really depends what they're gonna do. If it was my business, honestly... Here's the shitty thing that no one's gonna like to hear. The right business decision's probably to close up shop. I mean, they poisoned the well, it's over. It's time to walk away. From their perspective, it's time to just walk away. Because there's no way that they're gonna be able to come back from this as a studio, right? They're just... Yeah, I meant to go to these buildings. It's over, I mean... I don't think this developer has anywhere near the brand name recognition necessary to justify investing and saving it. I just don't see it. So it's probably, you know, this was their shot at the big time and that's it. They took their shot and missed, it's over. So they're not going to be in the news or releasing for anything significant for a very long time. I just don't see it happening. Because they're not going to have the ability to salvage this. I don't think. Alright. Okay, well it's mad, so I can probably do a bypass chip. Yeah, I just don't see it working. Okay, I need iron. Be right back, buddy, don't worry. There's a nearest rock, one of these stupid things. So yeah, I just don't see it happening. I mean, it'd be great if it did, I guess, because then I don't have to worry about trying to refund this stupid game. Believe me, I've already thought about it. Like, I think you could seriously make a case for an action... I don't know if it'd be a class action lawsuit, but some variety of lawsuit against Hello Games for false advertising. I think it's completely reasonable for a lawsuit on that general line to exist. Whether or not it happens, I don't know. Really? For mining iron? What a fucking joke. Piss off. Both of you idiots. Oh, just come on, go away. No one gives a shit about iron. Let's get this. Go back to mining this stupid thing. But yeah, I just don't... I mean, the numbers don't... It doesn't make sense to salvage Hello Games, right? Like, if you're even inside of that company, like, what are you really gonna get? Best case scenario, you're starting below neutral. Even if you make this game as good as you can at this point, you're spending a bunch of money to get back to a below neutral point, which from a business standpoint, obviously, if that's what's going to be happening, you definitely want to restart, because you're spending money to get nowhere. It'd be better just to reform the studio elsewhere, or just to go your separate ways. I just don't see it making sense. So, I think you'll see nominal updates for this, but Hello Games is done. They're fucked. Either they're going to disappear into obscurity or disappear into actually not existing anymore. And I just don't see how anything other than that is going to happen. And you could say that's unfortunate, but honestly, given the number of lies that we're told to push this game and sell it, I think that's pretty fucking fair. I think the bigger tragedy is that these guys are going to be probably bailing out with all the money that people spent on pre-orders and couldn't get refunded for whatever reason, or they just didn't refund them. Anyway, 398. Okay, it's this one again, so we want an 8 in the first spot because that's not there, so it'll be the first or second, and then we want this one. Yep. Hope you guys saw the logic there. I don't see the point in going through it since it's pretty obvious and we did it in a previous episode. But basically the 3, you find whichever, there you get 3 numbers and then you have to pick the 4th, and the 4th one is whichever one. So like I had a 0, a 3, and a 9 I think in the first slot, so that means, okay, well whatever the 4th number is, the 8 has to be in that slot. And then you go on like that. So in our case, the second slot hadn't had a 3 yet, but it had a 0, and our two options were a 0 and a 3. So we went with the one that had a 3. So, anyway. I like that part. That part's good. But that's like a very tiny good point in a sea of shit, basically. For lack of a more delicate way of putting it, I suppose. So I will be curious, I guess, even though I'm not happy with the game, I'll be curious to see what they do. Because I've placed my bet here on the ever-existing internet that will never disappear. Yeah, I think my crosshairs are off again. So I'm on record saying I think Hello Games is done pretty much permanently. I just don't see what route they have to come back. So if that winds up not being the case... Oh no, my crosshair's on. Alright, well, I'll be very interested to find out. If they do come back, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, it wouldn't be cool, it'd be actually probably shitty given their small track record so far, but it'd be interesting, I guess. I would like to see what they learned. But I don't think they're going to have any opportunity to show what they learned. And there's even things about the game that I didn't even consider, I didn't even think about. I just kind of accepted as like a part of the stupidity, like having to go into the menu to recharge your shields while you're in the middle of space combat. Like, what the hell is up with that? Who thought that would be like good gameplay? I get that, you know, combat's not the focus, but holy shit, still. What difference does it make? You still have to, like, at least try. So, I don't know, that's pretty bad. Anyway, for trying to not be negative, I've been pretty negative. Anyway, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.